Good morning. It's the following day after we shot the introduction, and things have started moving quite quickly. If we just take a little look around the back, probably see. Let's have a quick look. Yep, all the interior panels are out. We've taken all of the carpet lining out. Door liners are off. All of the curtains have been removed. So we've removed the curtain rails. Everything's bagged and tagged. So as we've been going for each window, we put everything in a bag. So we know when things go back on where they go. We've done the same on the rails as well. So we know which rails go into which windows. All of these curtains are going to get bagged up and washed later today, so hopefully that'll tidy things up. The panels are going to come out in a minute. Need to take the carpet lining off them, and then when they go back in, we're going to be redoing them in a dark grey colour. Having looked around the van, the other thing that we've made a decision on, I don't know if you can make out on this tester up here. So we tried a couple of things here. We rubbed it back and we tried using like a grey stain. Didn't really like the look of where that was going to go. This next one over, that's a rub back and with just a clear door oil, also not really doing it for us. So what we found in the garage was a tin of Frenchic, sort of light grey colour. So what we're going to do today, hopefully, is rub all of the ceiling back. We need to take out the headliner at the front there. Get these tongue and groove panels rubbed back, get them painted with this Frenchic, and then that should give us a nice neutral colour for the roof. And that's the first thing that we need to do before we can then look at mocking everything up, working out where everything's going to go. If we need to run some wires before we put panels back on, then we'll do that. And then it's pop the panels back on, get everything carpet lined. Okay, here we go. Back's all cleared out now. I've got all the bits out. We're all brushed down, ready to go. Next thing I need to do, take those two lights out of the roof, just tape those wires up, and then we're going to sand this roof and get it painted. Okay, we just finished with the sanding. We used the third sheet sander. You can see everything's just a little bit lighter now. So we used a 120 grit along the roof just to key it up. We just need to scratch it up a little bit to give the paint something to stick to. So the next step now is rub this down with a wipe, get it nice and clean, dust free, then we can start painting. Okay, quick update. It's now later in the afternoon, and there we have it. 2 coats of Frenchic up on the ceiling. That's looking really good. We've also had an opportunity to tidy up some of the insulation around the back. Lined this door back out. That's all ready. Next steps. What we're going to do now is going to pull the headliner from the front, because the front headliner it's a bit shot, and then also just up here, this rear trim piece. We're going to see if we've got enough headliner fabric to do both pieces. If not, we've got some light grey carpet liner. Okay, that wasn't too difficult in the end. We had to take the grab handle off. The visors, sun visors, were a little bit of a fight. There's a couple of screws to be aware of just up here which hold the courtesy light, but you don't need to take this piece off to get the headliner out. And then up around here we just had to make sure that everything was loosened off. So headliner's out, let's go have a look. Yep, this is absolutely disgusting. You can see there's some watermarks along here. No idea what that is along that edge, but it does not look very pretty. More dirt. This is just dirt this side. It's not watermarks or anything. And then there's a strange stain there. That doesn't match up with anything in the interior, so no idea what's going on there. So next thing to do is let's pull all this old headliner fabric off. I've got some new headliner to go on. This should peel off, clean it up, put the new stuff on. Good to go. Okay, so it's a few days later. Managed to pull all the carpet off of the panels that were here before and just place them back into the van. But the problem that I've got now is I've noticed that this panel here, which is the top piece, sits up here. It doesn't quite fit right. This top panel's been cut from 5.5mm ply. And this bottom panel's the original factory fit piece of hardboard. Ideally, what we want for this is you just want one piece going from the bottom all the way up to the top. The bottom panel here, it sits in a slight recess, but there is actually the profile. There's little poppers here that if you had a full height panel, it would all sit quite neatly. What I've got with this panel is by the time I push it up, it's a bit too thick to bend. It doesn't bend to the curve of the van. Also, it doesn't quite fit there. So I think the best thing to do here, we've been to the builders merchants, we've got some full sheets of 3.6mm ply. So I'm going to line this up, mark it off, then take both panels off, lay them down on the new sheet to make a template, and then cut the new ply, and hopefully we can do this whole section in one thinner piece, which will sit much better into the shape of the van, and that will make fitting the units a lot easier. Okay, so looking at this, the width for the long wheelbase, 135 centimeters. The height is a bit of a problem though. It looks like it's 125 centimeters from top to bottom, but the board that I've got is only 122. So we're going to end up with a small piece right at the bottom where it's not going to quite get to the bottom. We can work around that though. We can still mount on this point and this point, and we'll get most of that. We can do a little infill piece there. I'm sure it'll be fine. Next thing we need to do is get these boards off, get them laid down on the new board, and trace around it and get it all cut out. Okay, so I've got my original panels laid out on top of the new ply now. So what I'm going to do is go round with a pen and mark this out. Then I'm going to take this top sheet of ply and go and cut it out using, well, combination of jigsaw and circular saw. And hopefully, if I manage to do it right, I should have a single thinner piece of ply that can go back on that side panel that will fit the curve of the van, and that will hopefully mean that when we get to the point of fitting the units, we don't have to scribe them quite so much, and they should fit in the van a lot easier. Well, that's the plan, so let's see how we get on. Okay, that's it's not perfect. Still need to take just a few more millimeters off this edge, but I tell you what, it's pretty close. So I'm just going to go off, finish trimming that, get that poppered in, and I'll see you when it's all back in. Okay, I'm done with trimming and managed to line up all the poppers. So this is pretty much it. What I'm going to do now is just take this panel, see if it fits on the other side. Hopefully it does. If it does, then I can just trace around this one and cut another sheet for the passenger side. Right, just offering up this panel to this side, it looks like for the most part it's going to be about the same shape. Not quite though, because it's quite noticeably deeper in this section here. So I'm going to need to shave a little bit more out of that corner. So what I'm going to do is take this piece, cut another one for this side, and then I'll just need to do a little bit more profiling just so that when that pushes right back in, it's nice and tight. But also looks like we're going to need to find where the holes are from the midsection here and make sure that we pin it back there as well. Okay, what I've done here, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Hopefully it will. I've placed a piece of masking tape along here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for where the holes are, just mark them off. And what I'm hoping I can do is peel this up in a bit, put it down on the plywood that we've already cut, and then that can be used as a template for where we need to drill our holes. There's one more there. So the idea is if I line this up, I can now mark where the tape lines up. The idea is I should be able to line this back up with this. Okay, panels are in now. Managed to get the panels in place. They're all held back in. Got a sheet left over, so might take that back. Panels in this side as well. What we've done is we've just put the units back in temporarily just to get a feel for where everything's going to sit. So now that we've got this in place, we can see that it doesn't look too bad at the bottom. A bit of a tight edge here. That might need scribing slightly. At the top here as well, touching. So we're going to need to round that corner out, describe that in, just get that nice and tight. We've got quite a bit of a gap down there, you see. So it doesn't go right back at the moment. That said, back here, these units are not looking too bad. Under here, we've got a piece at the bottom that's going to need trimming out because at the moment it's pushing away from the side view of the van. There is a little bit of a gap here as well. We've got this sort of window reveal that goes up here, but even with that, there's still a bit of gap to the unit. So got a bit of space here behind the driver's seat. That's all looking good. And the window reveal will go right up into this corner. So what I'm going to do now is find some brackets and see if we can get this reveal onto the wall, and then I'm going to work out where the brackets are going to line up for here, and if I can attach them to the frame of the van, and then carpet over it. I should just have the bits that are sticking out of the brackets so that when we go and put the units on at a later date, we can just screw straight onto those brackets. We've got no worries about fitment. Okay, units are out again. They're back in the garage for the moment. Task that we're looking at today is carpet lining. So I'm going to start with lining the headliner from the cab. So we've gone ahead and got some light grey 4-way stretch fabric. Got some heavy duty high temperature adhesive. So very basically spray the headliner, spray the carpet, wait about 20-30 seconds, fold it over, mould it into shape. You only really get one go at this. It is possible to peel it off and try again. So what I've done is I've kind of pre-stretched the carpet in certain places. So where the grab handle is going to be, just giving that a little bit of a stretch, giving it a little bit of a stretch around this front corner, around this cabin tidy that goes in the roof line there. I'm hoping that this will be quite painless, but it's never really an easy job. I won't go into the full details of carpet lining because there are so many videos on YouTube that show you a lot better ways of doing it. I'll put links to those in the description as well. One that I can think of is the Coombe Valley Campers. That's the one that I watched when I first carpet lined our T4. So hopefully next shot will be this fully carpeted. Okay, so it's later on, same day. Still haven't carpet lined in here. I realised that if I carpet lined, I then couldn't run the cables for the lighting, so had to just get those in quickly. I've also fitted the reverse camera. So the reverse camera is here. Wires go up into the roof and then they run the entire length of the roof, and then they come down. At the moment they're just coming out here. Headliner's in though. That's looks okay. By the time we get all the grab handles and sun visors back in place, that will look better. Just have another look back here. I mentioned we've got the lights in now. At the moment they're just they're loose wired and then connected up to the jackery. I'm going to tuck these wires away now and then start carpet lining. Okay, we finally got to this point. I'm all set up. What I've done is I've cut the fabric to a little bit longer than the length of the van, and then I'm holding it in place with high strength magnets. So what this will enable me to do is spray this piece, fold it up. There's enough left over that we can tuck under the roof, and then just methodically work around the van. So get this big panel done first, then I'll need to do around the wheel arches, around the back piece, under the window, around the window frame. It's going to take some time, so I think what I'll do is I'll put you guys on time lapse. It's the following day, and bit of a late finish last night, but we're there. Fully trimmed in around the edges. I've gone right the way up to the threshold here. I think it looks really good. Cutting around the arches, that was a bit tricky. Around the window, let's just have a quick look. It's not amazing around the window, but it's most of this is going to get covered by the window reveal and the curtains anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, that's all going to get tucked in behind that where the seatbelt reveal is there. Okay, I think that's it for this week. We've got a lot done. So we started with the van, gutted everything, took all the panels out, got all the carpet lining out. We painted the ceiling. We've gone back through, cleaned the floor. Everything's been carpet lined. And I've also put the window reveal in, and I've got the curtain rail in there as well. I think that's a good place to leave it for this week. So next week we'll start fitting the units again. They're already scribed, so it's a case of just fitting them in, getting them attached to the vehicle so they're not going to move around. Then we can start putting appliances in. So we've got hob sink combo to go in, we've got a fridge to go in, we've got batteries, split charge system, wiring. I think that's pretty much it. So that's going to take me probably another week, maybe 2 weeks to get all that together. Then we've got the roof tent to put on the roof, and that's going to be really fun. And after that, we should be just about ready for the rock and roll bed, which is going to be available 2 weeks today. So see you next time.